Okay, hi everyone. Just been reading the post about Logic Pro and deleting the key mappings and stuff every time. I'll sort of run you through the solution that I've come up with. Right now I'm running the Axiom 61 keyboard. It shouldn't matter if it's the 49 or whatever. It's just the way that it sort of things are programmed into Logic. So at the moment I've obviously got the Mac and the keyboard running now. So what I'll do is I'll just start off with a completely fresh project, and that way you can sort of set everything out for any templates and stuff that you want. So we'll just start a new one, a new empty project. For my thing here, I'll just create a couple of tracks just to sort of demonstrate track switching, volume changes, pans, all that sort of stuff. And of course, if you run a lot of particular types of plugins, like I use a lot of east-west things, so if you continually open projects all the time with those things, you can obviously go ahead and set all these things up the way that you want. So I'll just do those couple there. As I say, nothing has been mapped at this point, so what I'll do is I'll just start out with a basic transport controls, record, play, stop, all that jazz. So right now I'll just go to preferences and key commands. I find this probably the simplest way for this stuff. Type in over on the right hand side what it is you're after. There we go, so record, and just click the learn new assignment and hit the record button on the actual keyboard, the transport control. Okay, so as you can see, that one's done. So I'll just go through and do the others. So we want play. Excuse my sort of length of time it'll take to do this, but it just sort of demonstrates everything from sort of start to finish. And there's stop. There we go, hit the button on the keyboard once again. Now we need, I think it's rewind, that goes by the frames. I'll find out very shortly. And forward. What do you know, I actually got something right. And I always thought it was termed loop, but it's actually cycle for that last key on the end. That little one there that will actually sort of loop your tracks along. So learn your assignment, hit that cycle key. It's labelled B31 on the Axiom 61 if you actually look at the printing underneath the button there on the controller. Anyway, so I've labelled those ones. Now if I actually want to start assigning controllers and stuff for these things, it's really simple. On the sliders and stuff on the Axiom, what I'll do is I'll just set up the first two. So D9 and D10, I'll have one as volume and one as pan for that selected track. So to map that one, all I'll simply do is I'll select the track first, just slide the control and then hit Apple L, and that's going to go into learn mode. Now you don't have to do anything else now except actually touch the control that you want to map to that, the one that you've just moved on the screen. So I'll just slide D9 until that registers. As you can see, that's populated over here in port 1 by default, which is good. All I have to do now, and this is really important, don't touch anything else on the keyboard or whatever. Once you've assigned that control, click learn mode, and that will sort of switch off that learning thing. So right now, if I slide that up and down on the keyboard, as you can see, that's doing its thing in the track there. Now I'll repeat the same process for set the pan for say D10. So I'll just move the control a bit so it knows what it's looking for, and then once again Apple L, slide the control that I actually want to use, and as you can see, it's been registered. And then most important, hit learn mode once again, and that stops that. So now if I slide that control, you can see that's working. Now you can sort of put in as many of these controls as you want. What I'll do is I'll just go back and I'll put in the track switching ones. So back to key commands, say previous track. Did I spell that? Yep, there we go. Learn your assignment. I'll just make that the zone 1 button, and then the next track I'll make that the zone 2 button. Of course you can assign whatever controls that you see fit. This is all just purely as an example. Okay, so those two are now mapped. I think that should be sort of sufficient for our demonstrations. Now hit Apple K, or you can go back up here, preferences, key commands. Oh, sorry. Yep, Apple K, I was right. Now this is where it all seems to fall apart. You've mapped all your controls that you've wanted, you know, you export the controls and whatever, save it as a template, close it, but when you restart the thing back up, nothing seems to work. So what I do here is add a new zone. I just punch anything in, create a new mode, and make sure you actually select the new mode part. You can call this whatever you want. I'll just put in Axiom 61 because that's my new key set. I actually don't need to do that. Sorry, just hit delete there. Now you've already got all these ones that you've mapped before. So really simple. Apple A, and it will select all of them. Apple X to cut them, and then click back on the new mode that you've created. Click in the control box and Apple V, and that will paste all those controls and stuff back in. And that's it for that. Now if we go back to the controller or the key commands and the controller assignment, you can see that the last one we put in there, the select next track, that's actually taken the input from the keyboard, and it's actually under those details put in, so zone 1, the mode, axiom, yada yada yada. Of course you can create as many of these sets of controls that you like. So as you can see, that's saved. What I'll also do, just to be sure, is I'll export the key commands. We can see we'll just put in a new one anyway. Testing axiom mapping. Yep, good. So we'll save that. Now what I'll do is I'll save it as a template. So we'll call this axiom buttons mapped. For our example, I'll save that, and I'll close the project. I don't need to save any more changes. Quit Logic Pro. Now I haven't switched the keyboard off at any stage, so I don't have to turn the thing on or off. I can simply reboot Logic. Up it comes. So what I'll do is we'll create a new one from that template we've made. What was that? Axiom buttons mapped, I think it was. And no, I don't want to save anything. So just looking at the transport controls here, if I hit play, that's playing. Hit stop, you can hit the forward button, back button, stop twice. Should take that back. And record, yep, that works. Hit the cycle button or the loop, that comes up active, that you can see down here, the cycle button. Now you can also see I've got a couple of tracks set up, so I'd also map those track switching ones, D9 and D10, so I can just push D10 and that's cycling through, D9 to go back. I've still got that volume control if I slide that slider up and down, and same with that pan. Now in the way it's set, that if I select the next track and move those sliders as well, you have the same effect. So so that's it. That's how to make sure you don't keep losing all your mappings every time, because it's enough to make your hair fall out. Alright, hope this works for you guys, and thanks for your time.